Hello, our mindless self-indulgence, Slop. Let's check it out. We need to know what is Slop. We're going to go over that. Then we're going to go how to detect Slop. Third, how much of their catalog is Slop or otherwise. And then fourth is, are they talented regardless? And then finally, we're going to use all that to tell you whether they are Slop or not, whether you're going to consider them Slop or other people are. So without further ado, what is Slop? Number one. This is the music matrix. We have energy on the right, 0 to 11, and we have catchiness 0 through 10 on the bottom. And basically, if something's less than a 7 catchy, if you're not a fan of one of these genres here at one of these energy levels, and it's not that catchy, if it's less than a 7, it's to the right of the slop line, then you're going to call it slop. If you don't like metal and it's not catchy, you're not going to call it rock, you're going to call it slop, right? So that's kind of where you get this, right? But if something is over a 7 catchy, if it's lower energy, it's going to be called pop. And if it's higher energy, it gets called rock, and potentially rock and pop. But here's the thing. How do we detect when something is less than a 7 catchy? Because we know how to detect energy. This makes you want to sleep, right? This makes you want to dance. This makes you want to fight someone and mosh, right? So how do we figure this out? Now we move on to detecting slop. Slop detection algorithm. And there's many things that go into catchiness. A lot of them can contribute and play a role. But the one thing we can look at that will give us the biggest gist of whether something is catchy or not, yada, 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 is looking at predictability, right? And so let me just make sure you can see that. Do I need to move this up? There we go. Sure you can see that, but yes. So something, let's see. Yes, oh, you can see that. Perfect. So if somebody's completely formulaic and move down a little. Oh my God. What are you doing? Stay put. If somebody's completely moved. Again. Is it going to move? Okay. If somebody's completely corny, like Joe Bonamassa, it's going to be, so this is formulaic. This is how predictable it is. This is how catchy it is. If it's very predictable, it's going to be slop. If it's extremely incoherent, it's also going to be slop. But if it's somewhat balanced, between being balanced and being zany, it's in the money zone, which means it still has a chance of being slop, still has a good chance of being now something that's for fans of the genre or, fan of that artist, and then it also has an opportunity at being hit quality, right? And a very small chance of being a smash hit. Now, just because something is hit quality doesn't mean it always becomes a hit, but it means it's good and that people outside of that thing will be able to enjoy it. Outside of being a fan of that genre or artist, they would like the song because it's catchy, right? Now, how much of mindless self-indulgence, this is where we actually get to mindless self-indulgence, is slop or otherwise, right? So if we're thinking about it, this is the catalog audit. This is looking at an artist's catalog. An artist can be a one-hit wonder where this is the ratio of quality to quantity, right? Where most of their music can be unlistenable garbage or, something that's for fans, but they only have like one hit. Now here is someone whose OnlyFans catalog, which is where they don't have anything for everyone. They don't have anything for no one. They mostly have stuff that's for fans, right? This is music that everyone can listen to. This is music that no one will want to listen to. This is music that fans will get a lot of mileage out of. So that would be examples of that are Slayer, Motorhead, Frank Zappa. Hit or Quits are bands where it's music for everyone that everyone's going to like and no one's going to like and nothing else. So that's Weezer, that's Queen, yada, yada, yada. Right now here we have a classic catalog where it's mostly music that's for everyone. It's so damn catchy. And then a good bit of music that's for fans as well, and not very many duds, not very much slop. Here is kind of the next most common thing with like really good bands is like Led Zeppelin, Nine Inch Nails are examples where it's like maybe they have 3 albums that are like everyone's going to love it, 3 albums of like great for fans, and then 3 albums of this is awful, no one's listening to it, even fans, right? And so where do we put mindless self-indulgence? So I think the first 2 mindless self-indulgence records for sure go into the for fans. But then once you get to that 3rd record and beyond, God, it's a lot of stuff that's just super accessible. It's super good. Everyone's going to like it. It's super catchy. It's undeniable. You know what I mean? The first record or 2 doesn't have songs that are as catchy. They don't realize all the premises as much. They don't like, it's like if you have rough drafts you need to, do on something. And then final draft, a lot of the songs in the first 2 records are mostly rough drafts that have done a couple revisions, but they never got to the final draft. Everything after that is like, wow, this is the final, this is the, archetypal version of this song. It's really good. So I think they're a classic catalog. Now, here's where we get to the tricky part. Because if you just go off of that, you go Mindless Self-Indulgence, not Slop. They have a classic catalog. Here's where we look at the talents. So on the right, we have brand. And, you can kind of think of that like merchandise. You can think like, if Kim Kardashian walked into Walmart and saw a shirt with some album covers and logos and things like that, is it iconic, right? Do they go like, oh, that's a good clothing company. Metallica, I love their shirts. Oh, the Misfits, they have great shirts, right? It has nothing to do with the music, because some people honestly just listen with their eyes. They don't even hear what's going on. They just see with their eyes, right? We all do to some extent. So Mindless Self-Indulgence, good historical impact, great present impact thanks to TikTok. Aesthetics good, stage design great, outfits iconic. Overall, I'm going to give him a green. You could give him a yellow-green, Not as good as the Misfits and Metallica, but definitely better than Van Halen when it comes to having brand and just aura from that. Then musicianship, it's kind of unique because this is kind of like virtuoso. Are people going to learn that instrument and go wow, I need to pick up the guitar to learn songs by them? Maybe not, but there is a level of their musicianship is wow. There is a virtuosity to some of the production and the creativity on the first records. If you look at the first record, a good example is Bring the Pain, and a lot of songs like that where I think Jimmy Urine and the band made 8 different style covers of the song Bring the Pain. And then they took parts from each of them, every 2 bars, they swapped to a different version of the cover that they did. And so you have a song that has 8 different other songs inside of the song. It's insane. So that is kind of where you get some of this. But even then, I'd say green, yellow. So we're green, yellow, pretty good on all of these. And then the songwriting is just great. You could say some of it after a while. The lyrics are a little sad for you, and maybe that loses, kind of value over time because it's a little self wah. And but even then, it's still it's green. So it's all greens, maybe green, yellows. Because of that, because it's consistent, because people who just care about catchy songs are going to say they're great. People who just care about cool musicianship and being wow, the art of making music as the technical side. This is more the technical side. This is more the popular side. If you like the popular side, you're going to say they're great. If you like the technical side, you're going to say they're great, right? And if you like just the merchandise side, you're going to say they're excellent as well. And so normally, you would say there's low controversy to a band because of that. But they have an externality here. It's because the lyrics are edgy. The lyrics in my Mindless Self-Indulgence catalog, and so this is when we go to overall, how do they rank? Overall, Mindless Self-Indulgence have lyrical content that can be offensive to lots of people and put them off from listening to it, and controversy, I think, with legal stuff with Jimmy Urine, and all sorts of accusations and things like that. And so there is controversy, but actually not because of the quality of the music or their impact overall. In the same way that you could say Michael Jackson. Here's the thing. If the question is then put to, is Michael Jackson's music slop? The answer, no, would not be controversial. Even though you could say Michael Jackson as an individual and his career might be controversial, his music's quality, his level of artistry is not controversial, right? That's the thing that's not being debated and people don't disagree about. So, honestly, I would say their level of controversy is low, but there is Dr. Rama, and then musicianship, songs, brand, classic catalog. So really good on all fronts like that. And then let's look at this chart. You can do one song on it. Most people don't think one song. Most people don't just think the whole catalog on average. Where's the energy or the catchiness? They think in general, what do I remember about the band? They remember the songs they like. So maybe let's say the top 10 songs. And so I like to rank my top 10 songs and then look at the average catchiness, energy, and see where that would put the band. Because that's probably where most people in their brain go to, is some amalgam of that. That's what I've witnessed. So I can't wait for you to shut me up in a minute. I can't wait for you to shut me up. And then every single one of you biatches ain't ever give me no love. And everything you do. And then let the lights out, hit the pavement, now it's rock on. Punch the lights out, hit the pavement, that's what I call. My voice is not working. Bandy night, All the best, ultra sex. And then I never wanted to dance, but nobody but you. Do. This will hurt me, hurt you. What do you know? Hey, tomorrow F you. I came to bring the pain. The full new wave version, I think that's coded. And then pussy all night. Come on and get some. I love that. And so, so overall, we got a 7.7 on energy. So kind of exactly what you'd expect. People would say, oh, they're a very punky band, high energy punky band, right? So that makes sense. And then a 9.8 on catchiness, which puts them in the territory where people would say they're like poppy. You know, they're kind of like, they make pop songs with punk energy. So it's like, that's what people, can also call rock. So yeah, some combination of that, but clearly they're past the 7 on the slop line. They're at a 9.5. And so I think if you plotted a lot of mindless self-indulgent songs, if you individually went one bum 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 bum, it's pretty much just like a triangle here. Probably catches most of their catalog is right there, even if you went song by song by song by song by song and you plotted like whatever 1,000 songs. But so I think they're not slop. And I don't think you're going to say they're slop. Now, here's the thing. People who are like, but they're problematic, they will say, maybe they'll try and say, well, they're bad. Sure. But if you're saying their music's bad, maybe you just don't like this energy level. Maybe you don't like the vocal style. But it's less of an objective thing. It's more of a you thing. So if you think mindless self-indulgence are slop, the problem's you. Anyways, like the video, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Parasocial. Subscribe. Anyways, I'll talk to you in the next video. Oh, next one is My Chemical Romance. I'll see you there.